So I didn't upload a video last night for reasons that I would actually like to talk about today. Um, Last night was a rough night, and not for CR reasons. It was a rough night for family reasons. The kids just were having a rough day. Nathan had a really rough day at work and came home and was tired. Um, I wasn't necessarily feeling on top of my game yesterday, and by the end of the evening, we were all just so stressed out and tired. Um, and, uh, chaos kind of broke out last night, as it does when you have two young kids that are overly tired. Um, and the temptation to smoke came back up. Now, that temptation hasn't crept up in a while, um, but it came back. And I texted 4 people and told them that I just wanted to go to the gas station, get a smoke. That it would, I would instantly feel better if I could just go get a cigarette. Because that's what they do. They slow your body down. That's what the nicotine and everything does. Um, and I want to talk about that for a second. Because in the past, if I was dealing with a really, really stressful situation or a really hard night and the temptation came up to smoke, I would sit and struggle and suffer with it until I eventually lost and gave in. Um, and the thing for me about smoking is when I quit smoking, I was at about a half a pack to 3/4 of a pack a day. And I know myself well enough to know, because I've tried to quit smoking enough times to know how I deal with it, that every time that I go back to smoking, it never just starts with one. I always pick back up where I left off. So if I left off at a half a pack of cigarettes and I start smoking again, I'm back to a half a pack of cigarettes. And I didn't want that. And when I first quit smoking this go around, if I was, you know, jonesing or craving one or whatever, I just asked my husband to be praying for me, and I suffered and fought through that temptation for a while. And this time I felt led to reach out to other friends of mine from church and from Celebrate Recovery, not mentioning names because I believe in anonymity and confidentiality. But I reached out and I texted 4 people because I figured it's better to text 4 people that I'm struggling on the chance that one of them texts back than to only text one person, and then if they don't text back because they're busy, take it as a sign that it's okay for me to go get a cigarette. So I wanted to broaden my safety net, and I texted 4 people, and 3 of them texted me back within 2 minutes, saying, you've got 6 years or 6 months, sorry, not 6 years. I'll get there one day. But you've got 6 months recovery from this area of your life. It is not worth going back to it. It's not worth fighting with my husband all over again, because we used to get in fights about me smoking. Not so much fights, arguments. And I was fighting with the enemy really hard last night. And one of my friends from church was like, you know what? I'm on my way. And she drove over, and we sat in my living room and talked for a while. And it helped so immensely much. Like, I can't even describe what a blessing that was, that she did that for me. And so I want to talk about the benefits of fellowship for a minute. Fellowship basically just means sharing your life with other believers, and sharing your journey with other believers. And the Bible very clearly talks about more than once the fact that we were not meant to do this alone. We weren't. And so, and believe me, I've tried to do this alone in the past. But I'm finding it so much easier to stick with and so much more encouraging, the more that I'm reaching out to people going through similar things, because they get it, and there's no judgment, and they are encouraging and supportive, and we all have a heart for seeing each other get through this thing. And the difference that it made, being able to reach out and know that somebody was on the other end. And so I want to encourage you, if you are going through a struggle right now, if you're trying to break a bad habit, if you're trying to get past a trauma, if you're trying to, let go of worry or control issues or codependency, reach out. Build a support system. And pick and choose your support system wisely. Because what we're doing when we try to change bad habits and let go of past hurts and focus on not worrying so much about our future, those are big things to change. Those are not small, easy things. And so you want a support system that is going to encourage you in every area of your recovery, that is going to pray you through every area of recovery, that is, they're just going to be your biggest cheerleaders. They're going to love on you and pour into you, but that are going to be honest with you and help hold you accountable to your commitments. So, I definitely try to be wise about who you're allowing into your inner support system, but build that inner support system. I don't know how I would have made it through last night without the friends that I reached out to, and the family that I reached out to. So it is okay to ask for help. I used to think it made me weak, but it takes a strong person to realize when you're in over your head and it's time to reach out. That takes strength. So be encouraged. You are strong. You are loved. You are prayed over. One thing I want to start is, if you have any prayer requests, anything you're struggling with, leave a comment down below. Even if you don't want to say specifically what you want prayer for because you don't necessarily want other people reading it in the comments, that's okay. Just comment unspoken, and I'll know that you need prayer for something, and I will take some time to set aside just to pray for you. So let's encourage each other. Let's lift each other up. Let's encourage one another in this world that is struggling. And I will talk to y'all next time. Love you.